The Infinite Tabs podcast is brought to you by The Joy Revival, a community created to inspire you to choose joy.
Each week, we will bring you real, raw, and uncut episodes that tackle some of life's most challenging circumstances.
We might cry, we for sure will laugh, and we push the envelope just a little bit.
But we will always bring it back to Jesus and the hope and the joy that only He can restore in our lives.
Again. Yeah. Shady's back. Tell a friend.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Woo! It's a party up in here.
Woo!
Woo! Ah! All right. Guess who's back?
That would be us. Me. Hello.
Hello from on the boat.
Oh, gosh. Sitting in the middle of boat.
Oh,
You were on boat a lot.
many times I go on boat. Wow, we lasted a whole 0.2 seconds before Svetlana and Masha came in.
Okay, but our friends don't know that so much has transpired and Masha and Svetlana have evolved with us. So lots to fill everybody in on, Stace.
I'm so excited. I missed everybody.
Oh my gosh. So when was it? Like 2 weeks ago, you said to me, you're like, okay, it's time to get ready to do the podcast again. And I was like, I'm so excited. Like we've been on this hiatus, but it was a good thing. We took a sabbatical, if you will. And we are picking up where we left off, in which we talked about being good stewards of our time and our families. And here we are. But when you said, okay, we're getting close to that, stepping back into the podcast, I was like, the anticipation, the butterflies, because I've missed it. I've missed seeing your face. We talk all the time, but I don't see your face all the time.
Right. Yeah. No, it's much better to be able to see your face.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was June 24th was our last podcast, if you can believe that. So we really did. I mean, I think we said August or September. So I think we stuck to our word, and we're just happy to be back. And we're going to tell you guys all about all the things that we've been doing and what's coming up and what you can expect. But we're back, baby.
We're back. I think our hope for this is, as we're still moving forward and trying to figure out the flow of all of us, the goal right now is to put out a podcast a week so that we can bring hope and life and joy and fun and ridiculousness into your lives. And so for now, that'll be what it's looking like.
Yes. And there are talks of Svetlana and Masha having their own 15-minute segment per week. We're going to need you guys to weigh in on this. Even if you say no, it's probably happening. Because you know why? Because it brings us much joy to do that. And so
there's so much joy and happiness. I just
right.
love them.
Because so the world has not gotten any better since
no
the last time we were here. And
nope.
In fact, it's a whole dumpster fire level deeper. So
oh, Lord have mercy.
And yet I still have joy.
Yes.
So, and if you can see, if you're watching, I sit here in the kitchen. This is the living room. I'm still in the RV.
And just about 10 feet past you would be your bedroom. So
bedroom's back there behind that window.
There it is.
There's part of the kitchen there. Yeah. The boys' bedroom's about 4 feet.
4 feet away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Oh, well, I think that we put on that wonderful Hope conference back in June, and there was so many emotions that surrounded it. It brought us a tremendous amount of joy and encouragement. And we believe it did the same for a lot of people because we sold a decent amount of tickets.
Yeah.
And a lot of women were able to find that much needed hope during this season of life that we have been in. As you mentioned, just a whole other level of chaos and mess that's taking place in the world. But that is okay, because when we have Jesus, we have joy no matter what is taking place. So we put on this conference. It was wonderful. And we established some new friendships, and we have been meeting more women that it's really fun to hear from somebody that's said, like, I bought a ticket to the conference and you and I don't know them personally.
Yeah.
And to hear how much encouragement it brought them. And I think my favorite part is when someone picks out someone or something specific that really resonated with them, which just goes to show that the women that we partnered with were the women that the Lord wanted us to, because every single one of them touched somebody's life. Yeah. And I just think that having the opportunity to put something like that on, I know that it took emotionally a lot out of us, but I do believe wholeheartedly that was very much what the Lord wanted for us.
Yeah. There was a quick minute where Stacy said, "No more. I never want to talk about conference ever again. This is stupid. Whoever said that I want to do such ridiculousness is very silly. God, you are silly." And then I came out of it. But I want to talk about that a little bit more. So there was this space where I literally said to Megan, I want to talk about it. I don't want to think about another conference. I'm not sure this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And not because I didn't love what we did. I really did. But I can honestly tell you, it was the hardest thing spiritually I've ever had to encounter. And that was just mainly because of the circumstances in which we were under, and the technical side of things fell on me, and we will not make that will not happen again.
No.
So that'll be relieved from me. But it was interesting because I didn't know how long it was going to be before I could get a word even from what God wanted me to do next. And it was direct, exactly 40 days from the conference to the first aha moment that God gave me. And it was Jay, who I was talking to Jay. She had done this whole podcast on the 40 days, and Ezekiel.
Yeah.
No, wait.
I thought that's what you had said.
Not Ezekiel. It's gosh, I can't think of his name. Anyway, it'll come to me. Elijah. That's who it was. It was
Elijah.
It was a whole story on Elijah, but then she was talking about the 40 days. And so when I was talking to her, she was like, "Well, I said it was going to be 40 days." I'm like, "You did." And it was. And so at that moment, I kind of came back around. I still wasn't ready to necessarily talk about the next one, but I knew, like, in my heart, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. We enjoyed ourselves so much. And we just really love pouring into women. Like, that's why we're here. That's why we do this, because we like that connection. And, since then we have like 7 people on our team now. 7, I think I counted. I'm not going to count now. I won't.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's 7 because I thought it was 6. And then I counted 7, and we went into the conference with 2. Came out of the conference somehow with 7. And that was one of the things that God kept showing up and confirming, because out of the blue, we would get these texts from women saying, "I've just been praying to God that I could be part of this, but more than just be a part of it. Like, I want to be a part of it. Like, I want to help move it forward." And Megan and I just kept being like, "Well, that's great. We don't even know what we're doing, but if you want to join our team, go ahead. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know how this is progressing or what it's going to be, but come on."
Yeah. It was so interesting because as we were having those conversations and people were saying, "I believe that I'm supposed to be a part of this," what it continued to do for, I think, both of us, as we talked about it, was just like affirm that what we started and when we stepped into this obedience and this calling from the Lord that he put on our hearts to help women choose joy in spite of their circumstances and find hope in Jesus, that it was that kind of, it was like getting a hug every time, because it was like, this is, you're doing what you should be doing. And I believe in what you're doing. And I want to not only be a part of the greater community, I want to lock arms with you, and I want to help propel this thing forward.
Mhm.
Because Stacey and I, we always talk about how this isn't the Megan and Stacey show, as far as, yes, this might be our podcast, but as far as the Joy Revival, that's not about
Revival.
Megan and Stacey. That is a revival. And the whole purpose of that is this ripple effect, so that it can catch fire and that it can keep moving forward, and that more and more and more people are coming to see that this truly is about hope in Jesus, and being able to carry that joy that we get to know and have, even when everything around us is chaotic. So I felt like as each woman partnered with us and came along board, I was like, okay, Lord, you're sending us these women that have skill sets
Mhm.
that are going to very much help us. And the funniest thing, Stacey and I always say this, we go, we can't pay you. And they're like, no, I don't. Because we're like, we don't have 2 dimes to rub together to be able to pay you. Like, we're over here. Stacey's trying to build a house. My house is falling apart all around us. Like, it is. I mean, inflation. Oh, inflation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yesterday I went to Costco, and
Mhm.
this was like the least amount of stuff that I've had in my cart at Costco.
Mhm.
I only had in specialty items, because we sometimes get those. So my specialty item was this.
Okay.
I got 2 of them for like, I think it was 18. So that's
Okay.
not out of control. And I
Right.
got a shirt that was $13. Those were my
Mhm.
specialty items.
Okay.
$389. I almost threw up. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm looking in my car. What, did something sneak in there?
You don't even want to know. I went to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's,
Usually
and
really good. Yeah.
I did like standard grocery shopping. So ordinarily we do Costco and Trader Joe's. And I'm like, okay, I have to lump this into one. I didn't have time to do both. So I just did Trader Joe's. I spent almost $300
At-
at Trader Joe's.
That's never happened for me. Wow.
I was like throwing up in my mouth when he told me. I'm like, what? Okay. Bye-bye money. I'm not even going to get into the political side of this.
Nope, not today. That's
choosing joy. We'll talk about something else.
That's for a dumpster fire Friday. Even though most of these are going to be coming out on Thursdays now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
As time goes, we would love to get back to 2. Right now, we're just focusing on getting 1 out to you.
Mhm.
And if we do decide to cover a hot topic, it'll still be called Dumpster Fire Friday. So
Oh, for sure. There's lots of things that we can
there's
talk
so
about
many.
then.
I mean, we could have Dumpster Fire Fridays for the next.
On Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I mean, how bad can one administration screw up? Okay, I digress.
Okay, yeah. Just a disaster.
Get 1 dick. I had to get 1 dick.
Just a little one. Just
Oh,
jab,
hello,
jab, jab.
my name is Bittler.
Okay, so much for not talking.
Sorry.
He doesn't even know what day it is.
At
He's-
Wiedersehen, my name.
Oh no, you are not doing that.
Yes, I
Just
am.
oh no. I just pulled my neck back
Oh,
and I
no.
was like, 18 shins. Okay.
All right. So we left to go be good
Mhm.
stewards. We waited for God to give us direction. Our lives, well, yeah, my life was spiraling. Can I just tell you, like, okay, so I got back from I'm
conference
wondering
in
if my
June.
last podcast had we fired him?
I think you were
We had to have been close.
close. Yeah, I think you were. I don't think you had fired him yet, but it was very, very close because he
Yeah.
was working while you were gone, in which we
Right.
discovered that we believe that the contractor that Stacy and Matt had hired, that he was making some very poor life choices. And we also believe that Stacy aggravated, like her spirit aggravated a demon that was like looming over him
For
because
sure.
he was a huge douchebag, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And I mean, I'm literally watching you, my friend, like you were just crumbling and you were like, I am losing it. And he was a pretty rotten human, as far as how he handled things. And anyway, but praise the Lord,
Yep.
you gave him multiple chances, which I think is so admirable, because I think in life it's very easy when you're trying to be productive and get things done. If something doesn't go right the first time, the natural response, the human response is to be like, hey, I'm done, go away, moving on. But you gave him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chances. And then finally you said, okay, Lord, we're going to drop him. And you literally took a leap of faith.
For sure.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer, busiest time of building and everything, especially here in northern Michigan, because we have a small window to do that. And that was part of the reason why we kept holding on to him, because we have nothing else. And it wasn't until I heard God say, like, hello, like, you got to stop putting your faith in this crackhead, because that's what he was.
Literally.
And start putting your faith in me. And I just thought, I can't physically go on, because it was actually like, I thought maybe I was getting an ulcer. There was like this portion of PTSD, because he would say he was going to show up and then he wouldn't show up, and then he would show up and then he wouldn't show up. And it was just this constant, like, you never knew. And so, yeah, we just,
you put out faith. And you put out a blast.
Yeah.
Right. On Facebook and on a group.
The group that's close to my house. Yep. And I had done this before and I didn't get any results. And so I put a post up, just kind of explained what was going on. I didn't name who he was or anything. And I had 78 comments.
Hey, that was like mine back in 2020 of April of 2020. Remember? I had over 200 comments on that. Yeah. Hot topics seem to get people's attention. So you got all those comments and they were like, oh, I know that guy.
And so within one day, 24 hours later, I had 6 different people come to our house, look at what needed to be done. And the thing is we had all the supplies. Literally all we needed was bodies that could do the job.
Yeah.
Walk on site and do the job.
Right.
And so we had a crew of 3 different contractors start all at once, and they were all willing to work together, all doing different things. And they all started within like 2 or 3 days. And what was so interesting is they all said the same thing. Well, I've been booked up and I'm booked up, but I just so happen to have these next 2 weeks free because we're waiting on supplies for my next, or we're waiting for the bank for the other one. And I was like, okay. So the amount of work that got done in a 2-week span was like
crazy,
more than we had in almost 8 months.
Yeah.
So that set things in motion, and we've been moving forward ever since. We've had a couple little hiccups, but nothing like that.
Right.
And the humans that God sent me were amazing. They were the most caring, kind, hardworking. They kept reaffirming us, like, you guys are so awesome to work for. We love this job. We don't want this job to end. Matt's the best contractor. Do you have contractor experience? You should be a contractor. So it was like all of those things that Shane had. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have said whatever. like he's listening.
He's listening. Come on.
And if he is, God bless you. You need a lot of Jesus.
Yeah.
So, it was like all those things that Shane had knocked down, made us feel like we were the problem.
Right.
We had other people coming in reaffirming. And so once again, God stepped in, and I don't understand his timing. I don't know why this is taking so long. But I'm just trusting here. Do you know that we've been in the RV for 12 weeks? 12.
It's a long time.
It is.
And you have a lot of bodies and 2 big dogs.
Mhm.
And so I know by the way, I think our listeners need to understand a little something about you and your daily and weekly life. Let me just explain to you, my friends. Stacy's shower situation has been a challenge. They just now in the last 2 weeks you had the well drilled
1 week, yeah.
1 week, and you have the pump. So now like taking showers is better.
Mm-hmm.
But they were filling up the water every day, putting more water into the trailer so that
26 gallons a day. So that's 4 6-gallon jugs,
dumping them
to the neighbors.
Right.
They graciously allowed us to fill up as often as we needed to,
which was every day.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I mean,
but everything was a process. But the joke became that Stacy would message me and say, well, today I look like a hobbit, or
she's hobbit feet.
Yeah.
Our whole ground is sand.
Yeah. So she said, I always have dirty feet. And she said, my hair is always disheveled.
Yeah.
And just because living life has been so much more of a challenge for them. And I only had to deal with the nonsense of lack of water it was several months. Like we had water, but it was not warm. So we were taking cold showers. And it was like a dribble. So there was no water pressure. It was just like deet, 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 deet. And Kobe, all this hair is like taking an hour-long shower because it takes forever to like rinse it out. So I understand. Yeah. But God is good. And, sitting in the waiting time because you're doing stuff. It's not like you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. Like you guys are definitely moving forward, but I know you're ready to be in the house and out of the RV.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Stace, is it time for us to tell them the exciting news?
I think so. I'll let you.
Okay. So it has been less than 2 weeks, and the ripple that happened started with our chaos coordinator, Nicole. We would die without her. Mm-hmm. Nicole and I have a mutual friend who said to Nicole, are you guys going to be putting on another conference? Like, I was just curious because I'm really looking forward to the next one. And Nicole said, we haven't really talked about it. Stacy and Megan kind of were taking a break, so we haven't really stepped into that. So Nicole messages me and says, where are you at? Like with Joy Revival, future conferences, like the ministry, the movement, and all of that. And we talk, like, it's not that we hadn't been talking, but life just was looking different over the summer. Mm-hmm. So we start talking about it, and I go and I message my counterpart over here. And I said, I believe the first
she says, Sveti, because that's what she calls me. Ja должен сказать вам кое-что. Oh yes, by the way, we learned Russian.
Oh yeah, we learned Russian. Yeah. We speak in several phrases.
And she said, I don't want you to freak out. I just want you to take a deep breath. And I was like, oh, I'm thinking like something terrible happened.
Yeah. No, I was like equipping her to be emotionally prepared. Keep going.
So she said, I have to tell you something, and I don't want you to upset you. And if you don't want to talk about it, it's okay. But I think it's time we talk about it. I think we need to talk about the next conference.
Yeah. And the best part about this is, as I kind of laid it out, when when Stacy messaged me back, she says, I'm not freaking out. Oh my gosh, this isn't even scaring me. I think that I had the time that I needed. Like, so it ended up being this wonderful conversation, and it is literally all we can talk about. So the good news is we have another conference that will be happening this next summer, June of 2023. And we are in the works of planning and preparing and
hello, let's not forget the best part.
oh gosh.
It's in person.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the best part. It's in person. We will be doing this in person. We will fill you in on dates and location and all of that as the weeks are passing. But it will be in person. We will sell virtual tickets as well. But really, this is shaping up to be in just 2 weeks. I am not kidding. The amount of time that we have already talked about it and things that we are planning is not going to be like anything you have ever experienced. And I am so excited for what it is going to look like.
So here's my suggestion. Start putting a little bit of money away each paycheck and do not pay your taxes this year. You know, your taxes will go much better if you put it into Jesus and not Joe.
And not Joe.
Money laundering. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, but yeah. Yes, for a fake war. Okay. Anyway.
I do want to share a little bit just because we got to share the God moments in all of this and the God winks. And so it was, if you guys remember, when we first started talking about the conference last June, I had this really overwhelming feeling that I wanted to go to Tennessee. I had never been to Tennessee. It was just like pulling on my heart. And I had said to Megan, I really want to go to Tennessee. Maybe we could do it there. And then within like a couple of days, we met Season, and Season was like, I got an Airbnb you can use. And we were like, oh my gosh, praise the Lord.
In Tennessee.
Yeah, in Tennessee. And so for whatever reason, I've been thinking about Pensacola. That's very random, very random. I've been to Florida many times. However, I've never been to the Gulf side. I've never been to the Panhandle. I hear it's very beautiful. And I was like, I feel like, but we were talking about other places like, I said, but I feel like Pensacola for some reason. And then
but see, here's the funny thing. You didn't tell me that before I did what I did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Doing that already. Oh, that's right. Okay. So you tell the rest.
So, when we started, thinking about where could we do this in person, and typically when you're putting on a conference, I know a lot of times people try to do things a little more central, like, okay, Tennessee, even though it's obviously a little more east, but it's still kind of central. And I would think that probably you could find plenty of places in Texas and stuff like that. So, but we were really going, okay, where could this happen? And I started thinking, I'm like, okay, I have a friend who happens to have 3 Airbnbs in Florida. So I'm like, just going to call her, just going to see. So I messaged her randomly, and I'm like, could you send me like the Airbnb locations? And I just want to see like, how much they are, and, tell you we're considering coming to Florida maybe and putting on another conference. So she messages me back. She texts me and she goes, okay, I'm going to send you all the links, but I need you. I should just read it because I think this will really set the stage so that people can
see how God is working. I mean, it's like he places the desire in our heart, and then we move forward with it, which is the obedient piece, right? Like we get this feeling, we don't even necessarily know it's him. And then he just delivers.
So she says, hello, I will send you the Airbnb links after this message. She said, please let us know if you are planning to come this way. We would love to offer a major discount if you stay with us. We purchased our one property and managed two others that share the same goal of helping our community and being a light, especially to those who are spreading the love of Jesus.
Slava Bogu.
Slava Bogu. That means praise the Lord. So she told me a little bit more information. But she said that since they've been able to be a blessing to other people, she said these things help us to remember that without God's hand in it all, we wouldn't even be able to be where we are at over here. So to give back is a huge part of our family and business mission. That being said, we would love to host you and offer you all that we have. So we started talking. She sends me these locations. And that's when I told Stacy, I know it's random. I'm like, but how do you feel about they live in Navarre, Florida, which is 25 minutes from Pensacola. So that's when Stacy was like, oh my gosh. And then she said, I don't know why I had been thinking about Pensacola. And so here we are. So I guess we decide to tell you that we're still ironing out the specificities of everything and exactly the location of where we're going to be hosting the conference, but we will be doing it somewhere in the general vicinity of Navarre, Gulf Breeze.
Mhm.
Is that right? Gulf Breeze or Pensacola. Is that what it's called?
Well,
I
I
feel
don't
like-
remember.
Now I'm like, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, it is. I double checked.
Okay.
So yes, so here we are planning the next conference. And so we are encouraging you to set aside a little bit of money, specifically because it's not so much the ticket to the conference, which yes, that's a little bit, but it's getting there. Like
Yeah.
the cost of flying or even to drive with gas, like we know that that's going to be something that you need to start saving for. But the good news is we have over 9 months
Mhm.
and you can start saving up for it now. And we would just really, really love for you to be a part of this with us, because I think it's really going to be very, very special.
Well, and I want you guys to think about, like, you know what we're all about, and we're all about community. And so we're really pouring in as much community as we can get at this conference. I mean, of course we'll have speakers, but as much connecting as we can with other women. That is the goal, because we've been, virtual for so long. And one of the reasons why we're doing this so early is because last time we were crazy and we thought, hey, let's put on a conference in 3 months.
In
'cause
3
that's
months.
the
That's what normal people do, right?
most people. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like they plan it for like 2 years or anything.
I know.
I mean, I would say that 9 months is still very lofty
Yeah.
for most people, but we like to do things a little bit
A little bit
unorthodox.
different.
So,
Yeah.
that's the way we're going to do it. So all the things, we're just so excited to be back here. We still have the community app, which we want to touch on before we wrap up today. So the app, we have decided to make it free. For a number of reasons. I don't know. Did you want to maybe explain that? You probably explain it a little bit better.
Sure. So I think we changed that shortly after the conference. I think we when we decided to make it free, there was a few shifts that were taking place. So because of the things taking place in our lives and our ability to invest into the community as much as we had been, we felt like, okay, we want to be present. We want to be able to do the things, but we couldn't do all of the things. And we felt like, it wasn't a lot of money. I think it was $10, right? $10 or $11 to be a community member. And they were given a number of different things. But we said, okay, we can't give our all, if you will. So we said, let's make this free. And in that, the app kind of shifted a little bit. So it didn't give us all of the things that we really wanted. However,
we lost a lot of options because we then brought down what we were paying for the app monthly.
Correct.
So we lost all the good stuff.
The fun things. So yeah, so we're sitting in a space where the community still exists, and it definitely is a space that if you are looking for significant hope and encouragement, that's everything you're going to get over there.
Mhm.
People still share their prayer requests, and there is a lot of I would say emotional and spiritual connection that takes place. So the community still exists there, but we're trying to figure out how this is going to evolve
Mhm.
and develop. And so we still encourage people, go check it out. Like,
Yeah.
it is free and you can see what it is all about. And I think our prayer and our hope is that we said this at the last conference, but the goal is not to just sit in this virtual space. The goal is that things would transcend into our local communities and that we can find friends that we connect with
And
to
we
be able to have that.
We have something coming on that too, but
Yes,
we can't announce
we'll
it
wait.
yet, but it's
Mhm.
coming. So we are working on something that will help do just that, get you more involved in your community and spread this.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a revival. It's not,
Mhm.
it's not just you and I. We're reviving everybody here to know that there is still joy out there.
Right.
And so we're just happy to be back.
Mhm.
We would love to hear from you. You guys can comment on Spotify. You can comment on iTunes. You can comment on Anchor, all of those. We would love to just hear from you. Say hello. Say hello from the boat.
Maybe Sveti, we tell them if you have not watched Hope Conference,
Oh,
that go back and watch. And also you will see Masha and Svetlana in all of their glory, and you will understand why we were on boat. So
yes, there is reason why we keep saying that, and you will laugh. You will laugh so hard.
oh gosh,
So funny.
I laugh so
Can I
hard.
just tell you, for people that did not know, when we record that part for the
Dirty Girls for
Yes,
Hope
for Dirty
Conference.
Girls,
Yes.
this was not script.
No.
There was no script. We just stand there and whatever come out of mouth is what happened. And it's so funny because Fetty has own, like they just have oh boy, they just have their own personality.
Person.
They
Yes, it is alter ego. Like
come out and there's no
gosh.
telling what you will hear.
There's no
So
telling.
tell us what you think, because we are thinking that Svetlana and Masha need to have 15 minutes to come on and just talk baloney about the world. Because you know
And-
why? It need to be talked about, but it's funnier when you do it at
It
accent.
is, and you cannot say nothing because we are Russian.
That's
so
right.
you can don't say nothing about racist or nothing. Nope, we are Russian. We are Russian American. So that is what we are.
We come from communists
Yes.
country. We don't
We
want
know.
to live here again.
No,
So
that is we leave that nonsense. We come to America and we don't understand why.
America.
Yeah. You have to put that in. Get right, Sveti.
America. This very, very, yeah. I don't know what to say. Don't know the words, but I will tell you something. Sveti is funny because
Sveti is so funny. Oh my god.
she cannot
things
get
that you say.
sayings right. What did she say the other day? She said, "It's
Cat.
like
It's oh no.
what did I say? But how did I say it? What did my bag?
Okay.
I
No. You're talking about I can't say it. Okay, so you know how there is famous phrase where you're talking about like the cat come out of the bag. Like you let the cat out of the bag, you are saying you're saying something that maybe you're not supposed to tell. She said when you said like I was what you say bag in cat. I was
in the bag and they give me cats or something. I don't know. I said something totally off. You know what we're going to do? We're going to find the clips because here's the thing, you guys. We are crazy. And we talk on our Voxer, which is our little talk app. And 90% of the time we are speaking in those accents. And I'm talking just everyday stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. But it has allowed us to capture some of the most
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I need to find one right now.
Well, I think I have a saved one that I can.
The one, oh,
Okay, here.
got to put it right up to the speaker.
Okay, let me see. Here we
Oh
go.
boy.
Just hold.
I don't know what this is. I'm scared.
I can't believe we come up with another idea for this. If I did not have you as friend, I would think I am crazy. Like, crazy. God, what is wrong with that? I can't tell. Oh, God. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was just like 5 minutes of me laugh, wheeze laugh.
It's my favorite. Oh gosh. Okay, we have to wrap this up because we've
Yeah.
been talking for a long time.
That's okay. It's been a while. They missed
It
us.
has, yes, I'm sure.
And
So
we leave them on a very funny note so you can enjoy your day. And yeah, this has been awesome.
I'm going to read this on our way out
Okay.
because I just pulled it up. This was read in church this past Sunday.
Okay.
So before I close it out, I just want to say we love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this with us. This brings us a tremendous amount of joy. And so our hope and our prayer is that it does the same for you and offers you, whether you're in the car listening to it or you're at home cleaning your house, our hope and our prayer is that you feel like we're just sitting in the passenger seat or cleaning right alongside of you or having a cup of coffee. And we appreciate you. So anytime you offer feedback, give us a word of encouragement, tell us the things that you love. It speaks life into us. And we are going to continue to do this because we believe that, well, let's be real. We love doing it, but also we believe that usually there is something that we feel like we can share that is going to bring you that hope and that encouragement. So today we just kind of want to fill you in on all the things. So I'm going to read this and then we will catch you next time. So this is in Philippians chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "Therefore, my brothers and sisters, you whom I love and long for, my joy and crown, stand firm in the Lord in this way, dear friends." And I think that to be able to send you out into the world to know that you stand firm in the Lord, you can claim his joy over your life, even in the chaos and the mess and the dumpster fires that are out there. When you know Jesus, he will carry you through and he will propel you forward no matter all of that stuff that's taking place. So be encouraged, stand firm in the Lord, and step into his joy.
That was beautiful. And I had like a total like God moment just then as you were talking. And I'm thinking of all the chaos that has been going on, not only in the world, but just in my own life. And thinking to myself, I feel like I heard God say, the reason you're in the chaos is because you're preaching. This is what we're preaching to people. And how can I preach that unless
if I'm not in it?
I've walked it, friends.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm not dealing with like the loss of a loved one or anything like that. There's different forms of chaos. But life has just been hard. Like literally, when I look back at the last year, like a year ago, God asked me to give it all up and trust him. And I'm still sitting here going, I'm still trusting you, please.
Yes.
But to come on here every week and to tell people to choose joy without having to have practiced it ourselves. I don't know. That was a moment when you said that. Like, I was like, oh, okay, got it. Check.
Just kind of that, reaffirming that what we believe to be our mission, like we understand what it's like. Us too. I mean, like, my chaos is different than your chaos, but it's still, we've had plenty of things over here as well. And just stepping out in faith and trusting the Lord. So, okay.
All right. Well,
so
how does this end? I forgot.
Let's see. And remember,
the good, the bad, and the dumpster fires.
We can still choose joy. Yay! Guess who's back? Back again. Katie's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Da da da. They are back. Oh no. We are so crazy.